And when she came back to me with it about a month ago, she said, let's go with brokenness again. We didn't get to do that. Let's talk about it. I went, okay. Now I had more of a frame of mind of, I've been through something now, but it also made me think about other things. Because we like to think we're all put together. I'll show you what I mean. Okay.
Is this thing recording? I'm not sure.
If it's not, I'm not worried about it. We like to think we're put together all the time. We've got it together. Like to think we're all together for everybody else to see. Now, see, I have my hair done today. I have my makeup on. I painted my toes. I put my pretty shoes on. I did my nails. I picked one of my nicest dresses. On the outside, I look good. Or, you know.
You all that bag of chips.
Yeah. I'm not going to claim that too. But, you know, I did the best with what I have, you know. I will by no means ever, in any room, tell you I think I'm a beauty queen. I just don't. I don't do that. Now, I will tell you in a heartbeat that I think my mother is the most beautiful person I've ever met. And that I would think that she's gorgeous. If I would put me and her in a room together, 9 times out of 10 I would tell you if there was a man looking at us, he's going to choose her. That's how much I admire her and how beautiful I think she is. But we put on a facade for everybody to look at and say, don't I have it together? And a lot of times nobody knows what you really are on the inside and how broken you may be. So when she came back to me with it, I started thinking. I started praying. I said, Lord, what do you want me to say? And he took me several places in Scripture. He took me to Rahab. You know, she's a harlot who saved the 2 Israelite spies. And that's a broken life. No little girl grows up and wants to be a harlot or a hooker. You know, that's a broken life. But she trusted God. And God saved her and her family by her faith. So there was some salvation in that. And then he took me to Naomi in the book of Ruth. And you know, Naomi left the land of Israel to go to Moab, a country she wasn't supposed to be in. But Israel was going through some trials because they sinned against God yet again, like we all do. I'm going to do it, God. I got it. But they were going through something. So they left where God had blessed and went somewhere they weren't supposed to be. Well, it cost her. And see, that's what happens to us. God will put us somewhere and he's going, okay, I want you to stand here. But we see something else over here. Well, God, I think I kind of like that. So we slide over here. Every time it costs us something. Every time. Not just once. Every time. She lost her husband, both of her sons. She went back to Israel devastated. But if you read the whole book of Ruth, which we're not going to do that, God brought her back to right fellowship, first of all. But he restored what she had lost. Through her daughter-in-law, Naomi, who didn't even know the God she served, but loved her mother-in-law enough to follow her. And follow a God that she had no clue about. And then he took me to the New Testament and got to thinking about the religious people brought this prostitute and threw her at the feet of Jesus saying, you know, by law, she's supposed to be stoned. She ain't no good. She a heifer. And that's just ad-lib. That is not in the Word of God. I don't think that's there. But instead of condemning her, which is what we do to everybody around us at some point, you're not where I'm at, so, you know, you're just not on my level. And that's just not religiously, that's every way. If somebody don't dress the way you look the way you look, we want to go, oh, you're not on this level. And that's what they did to her. Oh, she's a sinner. She's supposed to be stoned. By the law, they were correct. But Jesus simply stooped down and wrote in the sand. What he was writing, nobody knows. It's not recorded. When we get to heaven, maybe we'll know. But that's not important. He stooped down and wrote. Then they questioned him again. Lord, and then he gets up and goes, you without sin, cast the first stone. one by one, they'll walk away. You have to. But then he goes to the woman, and this is so, I always found this so wonderful. He looked at her, once they had all gone, goes, "Where are your accusers?" And she looks up, she goes, "Lord, they're not here." He goes, "I accuse you neither." And forgave her sins and told her to go and sin no more. Those are broken lives. And God gave beautiful examples of brokenness and what he can do with it. He can do so much. But going back to what I was starting with, she asked me to speak on this brokenness. And at the time, I couldn't have told you one thing that I felt was important about it. And a lot of times we don't want to see what something may mean to us. But this time when she brought it to me, I went, "Okay, Lord, what do you want me to say? What can I do that will give you as much honor and glory as I can?"
Amen.
And she said, "Brokenness." I said, "Okay." So I prayed, and I was like, "Lord, I know kind of what you want me to say, or I feel you want me to say, but how do I make it personal so that somebody else can see what happens?" So, best person I know is me. I don't know anybody else as well as I know myself, but I know what a broken mess I have been in my life. And everybody says, "Oh, you're not broken. You got this. You're smart. You're intelligent. You got this stuff together." No. No. I'm a broken mess most of the time. And let me tell you what I'm talking about. As a little girl, I'm not talking about big things, but I've been broken since I was a kid. I'm just going to say, I've been a broken mess since I was a kid. And Mom would probably not agree with you, but for me, I know, praying about it, thinking about it, I've walked through brokenness since I was a child. Started when I was just getting into school good. I didn't make friends easy. I didn't learn well. I'm telling you, I'm my father's daughter. I did not learn well, but it was not because I didn't try. Because I was smart as in, I could do a lot of things. I mean, I was out of the crib before I was a year old. She can tell you. I was driving them nuts. So I had intelligence, God-given intelligence, but I couldn't focus myself to it. I remember as a little 5-year-old girl thinking, why does anybody want me? I'm so bad all the time. I can't learn stuff the way I should. I can't concentrate. Me and Mom were constantly, I'm talking about me and a child and their parent were constantly like this. Because she wanted me to do one thing, but I couldn't process what she wanted me to do and get it done. I didn't have it because I have attention deficit disorder. I probably had ADHD, but that wasn't at the time. A lot of people don't realize what that is. They're like, what is attention deficit disorder? That's just something you can tell me something, and I have to take 5 minutes to process what you have told me. That's how it is. And that's why people will ask me a question. They'll go, can't you give me an answer? No, I can't. Even now, if you tell me something and you want my opinion on it, it's going to take me a minute because I'm going to have to process what you have told me. But I was broken because I knew something was different with me. And I struggled. I couldn't tell you anything about kindergarten, first grade, or second grade. I can't tell you anything about those 3 grades. I don't know anything about them. Anything I was supposed to learn, if I learned it, hallelujah. It's by God's grace. It wasn't by me. I'm just going to tell you. But I lived with that brokenness. And then, of course, when I was little, I wasn't, heavy. I was a little rugrat, but I had red hair. I had freckles. You can't see them under makeup, but I have freckles.